the problem is identity politics for me here. And of course, I have nothing against the identity politics in the sense of every group should be allowed or even solicited to retain, assert its identity. Incidentally, in the mid-1920s, till the Stalinist term, Soviet Union practiced this type of identity politics in Ukraine. I read now a right-wing historical overview of the development of Ukraine. Do you know that till October Revolution, Ukrainians were not allowed to use in everyday level to practice the Ukrainian language. It was just Russian. Ukraine developed its grammar, dictionaries. Ukrainian became a literary language during the 1920s. So they consciously proposed these identities. The problem I see is somewhere else. And as I did it, I think already I forgot where in a text, the problem with identity politics for me is that it implies a kind of a horizontal image of social antagonisms. I'm here, you are there, we should tolerate each other, it should be allowed to build its identity, and so on and so on. And you can see the catastrophe of this the moment you apply it to class struggle. Now comes my provocation. The movie which triumphed at Oscars this year, Nomadland. It's honest, nice, liberal, yeah, but I think it's a wrong step towards what I'm tempted to call classism, in the sense of class identity politics. The thesis is implicit, at least the way I experience the movie. Look, even those poorest workers who cannot even afford a home, permanent home, who had to drive around searching for job and so on, even they have their own cultural identity, even they have their own way of life with small rituals, solidarity, and so on and so on. I don't buy this. I think that the problem of this type of nomadic proletarians cannot be solved in this sense that you provide a proper cultural identity for them, but that you demonstrate precisely that their situation is so tragic that they cannot reach a full, satisfactory self-identity. As Marx put it about proletariat, their identity is self-contradicting. They cannot achieve that. Incidentally, in the same way, maybe I will even now write a new text criticizing this new woke Hollywood, politically correct Hollywood movies, which I think are very dangerous. Like, I didn't see it, I read about it. Luca, this new Disney cartoon about a boy from the sea, off Italian coast, sea monster who can adopt human image and then becomes friendly with, I think, a gay boy, ordinary Italian man, and they overcome the barriers, develop friendship, and so on and so on. We see, of course, this is meant to be as a parable for every hatred of the otherness, LGBT, immigrants, and so on and so on. But I'm always very suspicious when a whole set of social contradictions, like why are immigrants coming here? What are the social antagonism among the immigrants? What are we doing wrong with the immigrants? Why can't we deal with the problem of immigrants just in this pure humanitarian way? Oh, there are poor people, we are humans, let's help them, and so on and so on. No, the way to really help them is to question our politics of neocolonialism. Look at all these critical points. Refugees, immigrants from Africa, not to mention ISIS, Syrian civil war, and so on and so on. I wrote a short text apropos Donald Rumsfeld, where I claim, my God, Rumsfeld was the main creator of ISIS, in the sense that it's this catastrophic politics in Iraq, Syria, and so on, which created ISIS. Changes had to happen at this level. So, you know how far I'm ready to go here. Now, this will be a problematic part, but please take me seriously. I don't trust humanitarians who say, but immigrants are suffering so much, we should help them. No, I would much more trust a slightly conservative guy who says, immigrants are annoying me. They are too different. I don't want them here, but I want to be honest. They live in a shitty place there. So let's stop what we are doing economically, politically, so that they will be able to have normal life there. The moment the problem is put in the terms of humanitarianism, are we good enough to help them and so on, something is terribly wrong. Again, the problem is the global international situation. The problem is not, oh my God, there are immigrants on our border, should we allow them in or not? Of course we should allow them, to avoid a misunderstanding, much more than we do. But this is not the solution. And at this level, again, I'm already for years ago suspicious of this certain kind of identity politics. You know what is my primordial experience here? I remember I'm old enough, before Mandela and ANC took over, the last 20 years of apartheid rule in South Africa. You know that apartheid ideology was absolute identity politics. Their argument, I read some of their text, against simply giving the blacks right to vote was, my God, but look, they have wonderful, authentic, ancient culture. If we give them the right to vote, they will just become alienated consumerists like us, and so on and so on. Here, I love my friends from these minorities whose answer is not a hypocritical one, but a wonderfully open one. Yes, please, why not? Let us, allow us please to experience a little bit of your corrupted welfare state alienation and so on. You know, there is so much hypocrisy here. So that's my worry, that how to really solve the problems. And it's not just at a moral level. It's a question of survival for all of us. If things that are now happening still in the Middle East and other parts, Guatemala, parts of Africa, and so on, if this is not resolved there, then this situation of allowing a certain amount of them to come, I'm now talking from my perspective, to Western Europe will just breed hatred here, and even more crucial, we are not receiving here the true victims. It's good to see at the statistics. Average immigrant, apart from a minor number, are those who are aggressive, strong enough to pay all the bribes and so on. The truly poor remain there in terrible conditions. I think, again, we should move to this level of seeing the global problem, seeing where are the roots of the problem. If not, we are lost.